Do you understand the metaphoric phrase light as a rock? It's explaining how heavy the young lady is.
Female high school basketball players have to wait 4 years after they graduate before being allowed to play in the WNBA. The Women's National Basketball Association was approved in 1996 and began to play in June of 1997. Some of the first players signed were Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, Ruthie Bolton, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, and many more WNBA hopefuls. The WNBA eligibility requirements are that any woman be able for drafting provided that she meets one of the following. She is at least 22 years old during the calendar year of the applicable season, has completed her intercollegiate basketball eligibility, has graduated from a 4-year college or university, or has played at least 2 seasons for another professional basketball league. These requirements seem fair, except for the fact that the Men's National Basketball Association eligibility requirements are different, requiring male players to be at least 19 years old or have waited at least 1 year after having graduated high school. The difference of these requirements raised the questions as to why do female basketball players have to wait 4 years and male basketball players only have to wait 1 year. The purpose of this documentary is to present the pros and cons of such requirements set by the WNBA. Pros. According to Hilton, having to wait time after graduating from high school instead of being drafted right after is necessary for the physical and mental development of the student athlete. This method also allows teams to look at potential draft picks against better talent.
Giving me more time to train, like get better, get stronger, get faster. Prospect. No, I feel like it's right that it's made by, I don't know, the institutions or whatever, whoever makes the law. That's something you can't really get back if you decide to go to the WNBA. And also, the WNBA multiple years has been like on the line, like to get cut, like because of funds. So it would be kind of bad if you go to college for 1 year and then you leave to WNBA, and then the next year it's not around anymore, and you're like, well, dang, I should have stayed in college. So I feel like it's better if they're giving young people, like, you know, at that age, I don't think you really know the right decision to make, the life decision.
Edelman and Harrison stated that female student athletes graduate from college at a higher rate than any other student in American higher education. Therefore, it will seem reasonable for the WNBA to set those requirements in hopes for female student athletes to get a degree in case they don't get drafted and play at the professional level.
I feel like due to like the amount of money the WNBA players make, it makes logical sense for us to have to wait 4 years, even though I know it's not equal in men's sports. But because we aren't given like the same opportunities and the same, we don't make the same ends as men's basketball players do, so it would make more sense for us to go to school for 4 years.
However, some female student athletes do not agree with this rule. For instance, Epiphany Prince, a third-team All-American guard for Rutgers who once scored 113 points in a high school game, plans to skip her senior season and play basketball professionally in Europe before entering the 2010 WNBA draft. Cons. Edelman and Harrison stated that talented female athletes must delay their personal gratification and first achieve academic pursuits prescribed to them by society and the corporate sport structure. This reinforces an old and dangerous stereotype of women as being necessarily philanthropic creatures. For example, caring, passive, and non-aggressive. Conversely, men are allowed to be individualistic.
I think that you should be able to go from high school if you wanted to. Like, you should have the choice, and they can go to the NBA. So I think it should be the same thing. Why should it be different for women?
In addition, men aren't eligible for the NBA draft until 1 year after their high school class graduates. Instead of using a season of college basketball as a springboard to the pros, some have chosen alternative routes. Brandon Jennings spent the past year honing his game in Italy before submitting his name for the coming NBA draft. Jeremy Tyler recently announced he would leave San Diego High School a year early, rescind his commitment to attend Louisville, and play 2 seasons in Europe before declaring for the 2011 draft. Women hoping to follow Prince's lead face more stringent draft rules than men do. The WNBA requires players to be at least 22, to have completed their college eligibility, to have graduated from a 4-year college, or to be 4 years removed from high school. Prince turns 22 in January, and she plans to graduate from Rutgers before the draft. This is according to the New York Times in 2009.
I also think this rule is beneficial for financial reasons. From the men's perspective, the NBA playing professionally, there's a higher salary compared to the WNBA, where there's not as much money. So being able to have a degree and pursue other professions and probably play in the WNBA, because through my experience, I know a lot of people play in the WNBA during the season, and then when season's over, they either play overseas or they have another job because the season is so short.
Having presented these two sides of the issue, we urge you to consider this question and have your own opinion about it. Do you agree that basketball players should wait after graduating high school in order to be able to play at the professional level? And if so, do you believe that the years waited should be the same for both male and female basketball players?